sliceofsci-fi.com.
Hey Slicers, this is George over at Hypno Comics and Games here in Ventura, California, and I'm hanging out with Bigfoot, Sword of the Earthman creator, Josh Henaman. Josh, thanks for coming up, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. We love your book here. We love creator-owned stuff here at Hypno. So we're going to jump right in because this is going to be a short one because we're going to have a line of people waiting to get this awesome book autographed here today if they're in their right minds. So let's talk about Bigfoot, Sword of the Earthman. Tell the Slicers out there the top-down concept of it, how you got it into print. Just give us the whole spiel.
Right. To boil it down to the simplest of terms, Bigfoot with a broadsword. Yeah. That's basically all anybody needs to know. That's the one thing I throw out and catches people's attention.
Yeah.
Along with the 7-foot-tall Bigfoot standee, of course. Bigfoot with a broadsword. It's essentially kind of a Conan the Barbarian meets Flash Gordon kind of vibe to it, with Bigfoot on an alien planet where he's fighting dinosaurs, warring tribes with kingdoms and sorcery throughout the whole thing. So it's a nice little, feels like a TBS action movie, back from the 80s.
Sounds great. I love Conan, so I've read the first 2 issues. I'm really excited about 3 and number 4. Look at this gorgeous. Push it on. Look at this sexy beast. Huh? Yeah, look at Bigfoot. Let's plug the webpage where these guys can get it, other than awesome local comic book stores, of course.
Yep, BigfootComic.com.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. All right. Now tell us how you hooked up with the creators. Give us.
Well, I originally had the idea back in 2009.
Okay.
And I had written the full, it's a 6-issue miniseries. I had written the full 6 issues before I decided to actually go pursue and find an artist for it. And when I got to that point, I'm like, all right, now it's time to do it. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any artists, anything like that. So I started haunting like the sites like Digital Webbing,
right.
Pencil Jack, conceptart.org.
Gutter Zombie? Did you go to Gutter Zombie?
No, I didn't. I didn't hear about
Gutter
that.
Zombie's
But it's
a good place too.
Now I'm going to remember that,
it's
and
a
I'm
good
going
one.
to find it. And so I haunted that, and finally, tried to pinpoint some artists. Ended up putting out an ad, to looking for people.
Yeah.
And it was kind of neat. Put out the ad at like 10 p.m. at night. And then I started to see the world just kind of wake up. First the Philippines kind of hit first. I got like some people responding to it. Then Australia, got some from there. And then I got Europe, and then South America, and then finally, the rest of the Americas. And found Andy Taylor. He responded to it, and he was originally out of Palm Springs.
Oh, nice, Southern California, right? Yeah. That's good.
So unfortunately, he moved to Minnesota right when the first issue was going to hit. So it's like, he's in Minnesota. Right. Our colorist, he was originally in New Jersey. So we were all over the map. So trying to get us all in one spot.
Well, in this day and age now, it does make the geographics on creating a book a little easier. I mean, does he do traditional or digital, both?
He does we actually had a conversation about this. He was emailing me because I was talking about it, because I was talking about getting some original artwork from him, and he had emailed me and said that he was doing form of digital and such, but then when he started doing the pencils and the inks, that was all traditional stuff. But the roughs was, I guess, and I might be speaking out of turn. I don't know anything about art.
Okay.
But it was, the roughs were all digital, and then when he broke down, to everything with the pencils and the inks, that was all,
That's cool. So you have an original piece from your own book, right?
I'll be getting one, yeah.
Nice, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Now, you were, the last convention that you did was Wondercon.
Wondercon was 2 conventions ago. I went out to Vegas. I was at...
Jimmy's.
Amazing Las Vegas, and that was a great convention. For any... self-publish, any small press, I highly recommend that. It was a great experience.
Jimmy puts on a good show. He does amazing Arizona Con, amazing Las Vegas Con. It's all right, nothing's happening here. Just forget the sirens, everybody. So you were up there, and you got a good response from the people up there.
And I'll definitely be doing
amazing Arizona
too, as a result of that.
I also like to talk to people that are doing creator-owned books. We have a lot of aspiring creators that come through here. Give some of the, you're the writer, so give some of the up-and-coming writers some pointers.
Some production pointers. it's great to have, for inspiration, it's great to have a blog that you do, just so it kind of, like if you have a small following, it kind of guilts you into keep going along with it. Because, any writer will tell you the one procrastination is just in our blood. Like, hey, there's something else. Yeah, I don't want to just sit there and write, so I get distracted. What's going on over here? Exactly, exactly. So a production blog is fantastic. But don't overdo it. Don't mistake it for marketing and that you're trying to get your name out there too soon, because you don't want to, like hit everybody like, I got this great idea, and they're like, awesome, I want to buy it. Where can I go? And you're like, it's not ready yet.
Right.
So hold off on the hardcore marketing until down the road. And I mean, a lot of what I talk about are the mistakes that I made. And with Bigfoot, that was a mistake I made early on, like a year before. I went to the Cryptomundo site and said, hey, you guys are, I'm a big fan of the site. This is a book I'm working on. You guys were the inspiration for a lot of it. I saw an article that gave me the idea for the book.
Yeah.
And then from there, people were, oh, this looks awesome. And I'm like,
where can I buy it? It's not ready.
Available yet.
Okay.
We were almost a year out from that.
Okay, all right. So don't pitch too early.
Yeah.
Don't pitch too early. So Josh, we talked about conventions, some tips for aspiring writers, and the blog was a great thing. So let's talk about building a fan base. Give some people some tips on what's worked and what hasn't for you on getting some people into Bigfoot.
Okay. First off, with like you'd mentioned conventions, one of the best things that I've done 3 conventions so far, and I did an artist alley table. And when you think of, like a comic book, you're thinking artists in Artist Alley. But I'm the writer. I didn't do any of the artwork. I can't draw to save my life.
Yeah.
But as another, creator, if you go to Artist Alley, you're going to get that steady stream of people, who are hungry to look at, all the different art styles and stuff. And so if they're moving along here, then they'll see, oh, hey, here's Bigfoot. It's just another way, to get out there with, like I said, you'll have the people who are always just constantly rotating through Artist Alley, weaving through there, and then they'll come back, they'll look at it, even though, like I said, I'm not steadily, working on, like a sketch or anything like that. I can talk to them directly and say, yeah, check it out. So it's a totally casual atmosphere.
Yeah, Artist Alley is a great thing to, it's a great way to discover new work. I mean, it's one of my favorite places to hit at every convention I go to, because you do find new material that people are trying to get into people's hands, and it's a great way to do it. So.
And a lot of writers, though, they don't think of that. They're not like, well, if I'm going to go to a convention, I got to spend extra, dollar amount to get into the small press. I'm like, no, you can still do Artist Alley.
Yeah, Artist Alley is just, I think it's just labeled as that. Writers buy tables there now. So let's talk about the inspiration for this. You mentioned that you had the fantasy and science fiction with the Buck Rogers, Little John Carter flavor.
Oh yeah.
So were you an old Conan? I mean, why sci-fi / fantasy, which is not a huge, it's got a huge fan base, so it's a very niche product.
Yeah, I grew up, like I said, I'd mentioned TBS before. I grew up watching a lot of Ice Pirates. I think it was called. Did you ever see a show called Yore?
Yeah.
With
Hunter from the Future.
Yeah. You like watch those, and you're gonna go, wow, there's a little bit of Bigfoot in that.
Okay.
And, so yeah, those two kind of blend the two together. And there's a lot of with the title Bigfoot, Sword of the Earthman, you wouldn't think that there's a lot of hard science in there, but it actually is. I try to stick to certain amount, things. Like you'll look at the mythology of Mars, and I bring some of that in there. You'll see like the canals, that they were referring to at the time. The Spirit rover makes an appearance early on in here. If you Google Bigfoot on Mars, you'll see the inspiration of the book, the actual NASA photo, which looked like there was a Bigfoot on Mars.
Right, yeah.
I saw that photo and I'm like, well, how did he get there? And that's where,
And that's where it all started. That's where the seed.
Yeah.
All right, good.
And from there I knew, it's got to be swords, sorcery, and Sasquatch. That's essentially what it's about.
All right, so this is the cover of number 4. This is a gorgeous book. I mean, you can see. I mean, it's a great book, but you can see that like the artist is just really tightening this up. It's highly detailed. It's got some Magnolia flavor to it. I mean, so people that are into that genre, swords, sorcery, science fiction, this is definitely the book that you want to pick up and check out. And they can get it where?
They can get it, like I said, they can get it at Hypno, is the main store.
You're
Hypno
so
Comics.
coming back here. I love it. But online for people.
Yeah, they can get it. Go online at bigfootcomic.com. You'll see we have an online store there. You'll see all the other stores that we're available in. So if you're near certain areas, click on there, see if it's available in your area. If not, tell your comic book store. They can contact me as well, and I'll get it to them.
Get it in your hands. So, Slicers, Bigfoot, Sword of the Earthman, go get this book, make it happen. Have a great day.
Sliceofsci-fi.com